Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. This is Crazypuck from Method and I'm happy to bring you the first installment of our 10.2 raid guides, proudly presented by Kingston FURY. In this video, we'll show you how to kill the first boss in heroic Amirdrassil, Gnarlroot. Please keep in mind, everything in this video is from PTR testing, and it's possible Blizzard altered the encounter in some way since the final testing. If that happens, we'll release an updated video after the fights are live. Gnarlroot is a single phase fight against the giant tree dude who frequently spawns Lasher friends to help. Each time the boss's energy hits 100, you'll enter an intermission. Once you complete the intermission, you'll go back to the normal phase and rinse and repeat until you've burned down the tree, just like Amirdrassil. There's a couple of mechanics in phase 1 that play off of each other, so let's start with those. First up is Flaming Pestilence, which will cause a bunch of swirlies shooting out from the boss. These swirlies are bad, big surprise there. Several swirlies will also leave behind tainted Lasher ads on the ground, but they'll be inactive and you cannot interact with them. To activate these things, you'll need to use another mechanic called Controlled Burn. Here, the boss will put large circles on a few players. The circles take damage for 6 seconds to anyone inside of them, then drop puddles of Shadow Flame goop. If any inactive Lashers are inside the goop, they activate and pop for a small amount of damage to everyone in the raid. These need to then be picked up by the tank and brought onto the boss. The Lashers themselves will also cast Shadow Spines, throwing needles at random players for moderate damage and leaving a 10% damage taken increase debuff plus a bleed, both of which can stack. The Lashers also buff each other, increasing their haste and damage by 10% per other Lasher within 10 yards. If they ever reach 15 stacks, they get overgrown and become immune to all forms of crowd control and interrupts. Handling these Lashers is honestly pretty straightforward. Each time Controlled Burn comes out, the targets should try to hit as many Lashers as possible, while also ensuring to leave the raid some room to actually play without needing to stand in the goop. As soon as the Lashers pop, the tanks need to grab them and group them up under the boss for cleave. Blow them up to help out your healers so the raid doesn't get coated in bleeds. Aside from the Lashers, there's a few other minor mechanics. Tortured Scream is a raid-wide AoE ability the boss uses regularly, dealing moderate damage and applying a 10-second dot. This is mostly so the healers don't get too bored, because you definitely can't have that. Shadow Flame Cleave is a frontal cast at the current tank, don't get hit by it. Dreadfire Barrage is your tank swap mechanic. It'll shoot 5 missiles at the current tank over 2 seconds, with each one dealing moderate physical and Shadow Flame damage. Each hit also increases Shadow Flame damage taken by 20% for 34 seconds, stacking. You'll just need to tank swap after each cast of this barrage. Once the boss hits 100 energy, he'll run to the center of the room and cast Doom Cultivation, starting the intermission. Here, he'll take 99% less damage and pulse damage every 5.2 seconds. This will also cause a bunch of roots to grow out of him toward the edges of the room. Don't get hit by these as they spawn, they do hurt. Under the boss, a goop puddle appears called Toxic Loam. Don't stand in this, it hurts a lot. Every 8 seconds during the intermission, Gnarlroot will throw some small soak circles on the ground. Soaking them deals minor damage to you, but missing any causes moderate raid-wide damage. If you do soak one, you'll also get a debuff with 5 stacks called Ember Chard, literally lighting you on fire and causing you to take mild ticking damage. However, if you run into one of the roots while you're on fire, you'll ignite that piece of root and lose a stack of Ember Chard. The intermission ends once you've successfully burned away all of the roots. Because of this, you'll want multiple people soaking each soak circle to get several Ember Chard debuffs going. Light the roots on fire as quickly as possible to get out of the intermission. Once you've cleared all the roots, the boss gets stunned with a debuff called Uprooted Agony. This lasts 20 seconds, causes him to pulse damage to the raid every second, but also causes him to take 100% increased damage. Use Bloodlust here and throw everything you have into him. Once the Uprooted Agony ends, you re-enter phase 1 and the boss gains a 10% damage buff for the rest of the fight, stacking. Rinse and repeat this until the boss is dead. If you enjoyed this guide, remember to like it and make sure you're subscribed to the channel to catch all of our previews, guides, kill videos, and more. A big thank you again to Kingston FURY for making guides like these possible. From everyone here at Method, have a great day, and we'll see you next time.